Welcome guys, in this lesson I'm going to teach you how to improvise over 2-5-1s. We're going to focus on long 2-5s and specifically we're going to solve this problem of feeling like you have to play memorized licks. Now it's important to learn memorized licks, especially 2-5-1s, to learn this jazz language. However, we don't want to stay in this zone of just regurgitating memorized licks because it doesn't really feel like improvisation. It's not really improvisation. We're going to do a 3-step process for this video. We're going to start off showing you guys how to add in triads for these longer 2-5s, then how to add in some diminished sounds, which will give you more tension, and then finally how to add in other essential jazz patterns. So when you combine all of this together, you're going to feel very, very confident and comfortable playing through your 2-5-1s. So the idea that we're going to start with, and very simply on D minor, we're going to use the same exact opening statement, let's call it, the same exact notes for our D minor 7. We're going to play this. So it's a D minor 7 arpeggio. We slide down. And then we have B, D, F, A. Right? You might recognize that as a B minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, or part of a G9. Either way, just a very comfortable, common way of playing an 8th note idea over D minor 7. So we're going to use that for all of the things we're focused on. And what we're really going to work on is this 5 chord, this G7. We're going to do some different approaches for this G7 that I'm sure you haven't done before. So the first one I want to do is really just keeping it simple. We have D minor 7, G7, and we'll resolve to a chord tone on C major. And for the G7, we're just going to use notes from G major triad just to start off. And so we might get an idea that sounds like this. So over G7, we had this. And that's the rhythm we'll use for this section on triads. So it's a quarter note, 1, 2, and rest, and 4, and 1, 2, and rest, and 4, and. So get comfortable with that. I'm just playing notes from G major triad, G, B, D. Okay, well, we can also use triads, major triads, moving in minor thirds. I have a few videos. If you saw my video last week, you can check that out afterward for the theory and the explanation of why. But for right now, I'll assume that you guys are either comfortable with that theory or it doesn't even really matter for the purpose of getting this into your playing. But check out some of the videos I'll put in the description if you want to fill in that knowledge. All right, so what we're going to do is same opening statement of D minor, but we're going to play as if it's B flat 7. So your rhythm section might still be playing G7, but we're going to play B flat major triad. Again, using the same rhythm, we'll just pick notes B flat, D, and F. All right, so it might sound like this. 3, 4. So we found a different resolution to C major. We went F to E because we have an F in the B flat triad as opposed to before I think we went to C. But everything else was basically the same. We even had a different way of getting into the B flat, going up by half step from A up to B flat. So when you're doing this, you want to find those little half steps connecting your notes from D minor 7 into any of these triads that we're going to discuss. So we did G, we did B flat, we're going to do D flat next. This is also the reason that tritone substitution works. So D flat major triad, D flat, F, and A flat. Let's try that one. 3, 4. So here, instead of going up A to B flat, we went A to A flat as part of our D flat triad. We still went F to E as our resolution. So we have G, we have B flat, we have D flat, and finally we have E. So let's do our E major triad over this. 3, 4. So for this one, we're going G sharp down to G. And that's our resolution point. All right, so that's step 1. You'll get a lot of freedom by just thinking of notes from these different triads and connecting them. But it can also sound a little bit tough to add in other ideas here. It can be a little bit boring to just keep the triad shape because the intervals within the triad are thirds, right? So we have just a lot of repetition of interval, and we might want to do something different. So a really, really good thing you can do to add just a little bit of tension here is the first half of that 5/7 chord, we're going to play the triad, and then the second half, we're going to play a very simple 4-note diminished pattern to resolve into C major. I'll show you exactly what we're going to do here. All right, so let's take this G major one again, exactly the same start, but the second half of that measure, we're going to play a diminished pattern. So it might sound like this, 3, 4. So we had the same beginning of that idea, but instead of doing the triad idea, we switch to a diminished idea, which is this 4-note pattern. It's one I've talked about before. Again, I'll link it down below. But for our purposes, I want you guys to keep this on the same string, and you really need to get this in your hand. It's pinky, ring, index, slide the index. Note-wise, we have A flat, G, F, E. You could think about this as coming from a bunch of different diminished scales. I honestly don't even think about the specific scale at this stage. This would be from like A flat diminished or F diminished if you want to think about it like that. And really what it is a way to resolve down to this last E. So you want to hear this pattern as taking you to this E. Da, 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 and that resolves you, right? We have Ramona jumping around here. I don't know if you hear my cat Ramona. And so we're going to keep it all on one string for that purpose. But now we have a variation here in the G7. We have some triad and we have some diminished. So it's helping us get some contrast within the sound. We can also do this for those other triads we did though. So this is where it gets cool. We have the B flat triad, and now we can add in the same diminished idea for that. So let's check that out. 3, 4. So let's check this out. Same start we did before, B flat triad, and now I'm doing the same shape, pinky, ring, index, index, and I need to make sure that that last index is my resolution point. So here was E, or I could resolve to G for the C major, and that's all I'm looking at. As long as I'm seeing that, I know that diminished pattern gets me there, right? So let's do it one more time. Real quick, if you guys want the free PDF for this lesson, just sign up on the mailing list below and I'll send that to you. I also added in there something I won't have time to discuss today, but just some different opening statements for D minor so you can have even more options for practicing this, so it's really valuable for you. So anyways, sign up below and you can get that for free. Now let's do the D flat 7 with the diminished idea. So that would sound like this. 3, 4. So I'm doing the same pattern for diminished, since we're gonna get to G, that I did for B flat 7. Again, I'm not thinking about theory, I'm not thinking about scale, it's just this path, this shape to get to that G. And before that, I thought about this shape for D flat. Right, we could analyze the specific notes, oh, I'm playing the flat 7 of D flat 7, but I'm not really, because I'm not thinking about that. And that leads me to my resolution. That's really what matters here. Let's do our last one here for E7, and it sounds like this. 3, 4. So here we're going back to that first diminished resolution, so we get to E. Right, so very simple, just one pattern for diminished. Try finding this diminished pattern and finding new ways to get to it. Now, to really, really be able to do this, we want to use not just triads, not just diminished patterns, but feel comfortable with any of the essential jazz patterns. And I've identified 9 of these that any jazz musician, I found them in all of their solos, and when you combine them together, it forms what I call essential jazz vocab. I have a whole curriculum and course on how to learn this inside Chase Guitar Academy. If you guys are interested, we got a lot of testimonials about how that's really helped people finally understand how to improvise, the steps to go through that. So if you've been enjoying these 251 lessons, I know you will like that. You get a 7-day free trial as well. So check it out if that's interesting to you. This last one, we're going to do what I call essential jazz pattern number 3, which is a 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 5 is like the root, the second, the third, and the fifth. And we're gonna apply that for these triads. And you know, I got a comment on the last video that was a really good question. And this is how I would solve that. The questioner was asking, basically, you know, triads can be a little bit tricky to play on guitar. There's usually just one note per string. So it's a lot of string skips. How do you get around dealing with those string skips? It doesn't feel like it flows well when you're playing through this. And using a 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern fixes a lot of that, because now we have an even number of notes. We have 4 notes, and adding in just that second gives us 2 notes per string. So now we don't have that string skip. We get stuff like down, up, right? So depending on where you play it on the guitar, it can be a lot more comfortable. So let's use that now in addition to our diminished pattern, and we'll keep the D minor 7 part the same and get some more ideas with that. So let's do that for D minor, G7, and C major. 3, 4. So our 1, 2, 3, 5 from G is G, A, B, D. Came back, and then our diminished pattern here, A flat, G, F, E. It's the same one we did before here, but up an octave. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 5 now from B flat. We have B flat, C, D, and F. So let's take a look at what that version might sound like. 3, 4. All right, so for the B flat 7, it doesn't have to be in this order of 1, 2, 3, 5. That's just this set of notes that we're going to be drawing from. So in this case, I was doing 1, 2, 1, 5, 3. And then our diminished pattern to get us out of that. You can use any group of those notes when you're thinking of your 1, 2, 3, 5. Let's do it for D flat 7 now. So from D flat, we'd have D flat, E flat, F, and A flat. Yeah. All right, so let's try that one out. 3, 4. One other really important thing you can do here is leave an 8th note space. So I'm separating the ideas a little bit because I did my 5, 3, 2, 1. I have a rest, and now I'm playing the diminished. So it doesn't have to be continuous 8th note lines. That's really my point here. Finally, let's do it for the E7 as well. Now this one has the most tension as well if someone's playing G7, because you might be hitting an F sharp while that's happening. It's okay as long as you play these ideas confidently and know where you're resolving to. You might get a little bit of that tension, but as long as you're not holding on the F sharp while G7 is happening and you're playing it as part of a line that has a direction, an endpoint, a resolution, you'll be fine. So that one sounds like this. 3, 4. Hopefully this lesson was interesting to you. If you guys dug it, I really, Ramona, I should have known better that she would destroy my mouse as a cat. Hopefully this lesson was interesting to you and you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know in the comments. It really does help the video get out to more people, help more people, and it lets me know that you guys are into this. So adding your comments and hitting like, subscribing really does help the channel, and I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for doing that. Check out the free PDF if you guys want to get that, and you can also check out more videos on this 251 topic, my approach to 251s, in the description. I'll put some playlists here as well for you guys to check out. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Say hello to the camera, Ramona. 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 She's a little bit squirmy. She doesn't like being held. She doesn't really like anything, actually. Woo! Stanky leg. All right, guys. Peace.